Hey there, you guys. So today we're here to talk about thesis statements. What is a thesis statement? Why do you need it? Why should you care about it? Well, a thesis statement is basically the thing that tells your reader exactly what you're going to talk about in your essay. So that leads us to who cares? Why does the reader have to know exactly what we're talking about in our essay? Well, the reason for that is a few things, right? We want to establish trust for the reader. You establish trust by telling them what you're going to do and then following through with it. Who cares about trust? Well, trust is all you have. You don't have the opportunity to kind of explain yourself beyond the scope of what you've written. You don't have the chance to answer a question that someone might have. You don't have the ability to follow up, right? So you need to just lay everything out there right away and make sure that's very clear. So to do that, you first establish what it is you're going to talk about. So a thesis statement breaks down a couple of different things, right? It tells your reader the overall argument or purpose of your essay, and then it also tells them, hey, I'm going to go about telling you this in these ways, right? So there's two parts, right? One part is the statement of purpose. That's the kind of overall purpose of the essay. What is the essay in its entirety trying to tell you? And then it says, and I will do this using X, Y, and Z. Right? I'm going to accomplish this whole big thing in my essay. This is the argument that you're making about a particular topic or a particular piece of literature. I'm taking an argument and I am making it so that you can now advance the point. You have a further understanding on this particular facet, right? And so how do we keep to that, right? Everything in the essay is part of that particular facet. So we don't want to say, okay, well, I'm talking about apples, but also I'm going to just bring up something about pears real quick because the pears don't make a difference, right? Now, how does that work in an essay about literature, for example? Well, you want to talk about the piece of literature you're talking about, right? And whatever issue you're relating it to, whatever it is that your argument intersects with. And if you don't do that, then you run the risk of your reader being like, why? Why do I care about this thing that you're talking about? Because guess what? It's not relevant to what you told me you were going to say. So the statement of purpose part of the thesis, right, that argument that you're making is what drives everything in the paper, right? It's saying, this is what I am conforming to. I am not deviating from this plan. My plan is this. I'm going to argue this thing. And then you don't change from that, right? You keep everything within the scope of that argument. And then that forecast element part, again, describes how you will go about doing this. I'm going to do it using this particular point and this particular point and this particular point. Okay, depending on how many body paragraphs you have. The number of forecast elements you have is the number of body paragraphs you will use to argue. Okay, so it's really important that you recognize that the parts of your thesis statement help your reader fully recognize the organization of your essay. It shows them exactly how the essay is going to do what you say it's going to do. And it keeps that trust, because if you start your argument, you follow through on each of the different elements of your argument, and then you finish reiterating your argument in your conclusion, then guess what? You've just done everything you told your reader you would. And that trust goes a long way, okay? So back to trust. I know everything comes back to trust, because why would a reader listen to something you're going to say if they don't trust you? You want to give them something that they can relate to, that they can understand, and you want to follow through in the same way that you start. Okay, which is by being concise, by being specific, by being clear. So all of those things go into your thesis. Your thesis statement should be the most obvious, clear, concise, just the simplest sentence to understand. Okay, and if it's not, then it's time to go back and revisit it and think about, how can I write this differently so that the information is more clear to my reader? Okay, because everything in an essay starts with a clear thesis statement. All right, you guys, so hopefully that helps you understand thesis statements a little bit better. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you soon, and be safe, be healthy, and next time. And until next time.